Thank you for coming in, Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist. One thing I can tell you is that the dark is getting darker at an accelerated rate. What I mean by this is evil's becoming more blatant to those who have an awakened mind. For the masses who are going along with the narrative and living out the how could I describe it without getting taken down? Taking the easy route, the path of least resistance, as many commentators say, and pushing away their conscience by use of substances and drugs and alcohol and other recreational chemicals. Rather than facing the issue and allow themselves to be healed, they go deeper and deeper into this chemically altering themselves construct that can end up anywhere. For some, they end up zombied. They're like the living dead. For others, they're like zombies that are on the attack, like the man that went through Bondi yesterday and the man that stabbed the minister, the bishop, in the church here in Sydney today. So that's 2 stabbings in one day, which really is, we ought to stop and consider what's going on in the Middle East and what has gone on in the Middle East for hundreds of thousands of years, this kind of atrocities where innocent people are just bombed and destroyed. But what the problem is the underlying evil associated with the mental health culture. And what I mean by this is a lot of the issues aren't being resolved. They're just being what can we say, pushed to the back or swept under the carpet. The deep inner issues, people are in so many ways being taught that there is a place within themselves that they can naturally, without any assistance from chemicals and things, to move them away or wave them away from what they need to face, what they need to see when they look in the mirror, so that they can change themselves like a person, bring themselves back to a place within themselves that's wholesome and healthy, rather than running from the devil, as it were, within themselves on a constant basis, because this wears you out. This produces mental health. So you can have a mental health issue and take the wrong path as a means to try and cure it, and become worse. There's a lot of people that have been medicated through the system that didn't need to be medicated. They just needed to face the issue or come to terms with the fact that a lot of their life has been wasted, or a lot of life has been missed. And these people will have the answer for everybody else. I've seen this. They're functioning addicts and functioning alcoholics and functioning covert personality disordered sinful people. And these people are in our communities. And if many of us realised how bad some of this is, how evil some of these people live, we'd be mortified. So what do you do when you've met someone and you want to try and build a relationship, and the next thing you realise that not only is this person, but their family is sinful? I'm going to call it sinful, because You can have all the beautiful psychological language for the personality disorders and all the rest of it, and it really is beautiful to listen to. And you learn a lot. But for the people that haven't got 190 IQ, calling evil sinful and coming back to the roots of what it all is really simplifies things, and you can face evil and go, no, I'm not doing that, or I'm not buying into that. Mental health people that don't want to face the issues, are repulsed and in opposition to a lot of the answers that they need to help themselves. That's why they're never going to change. And a lot of these drug addicts and alcoholics and things are thinking to themselves that it's helping them. Excuse me, but it's not. It's making them worse. But you try and tell them that. I've seen people come right out of the darkness, like a possum into the headlights. I've seen them come right out of the darkness, but not know what to do with it. And I've seen their family members feign sicknesses and illnesses and go to all sorts of lengths to get the attention back that they lost when this person met someone. These people are enmeshed. They over-rely on each other, and they have no right to cross the boundaries that they cross, but they will, and they do, and life catches up with them, and they look at each other and go, what have we done to each other? And not only have they robbed themselves and ended up with the injuries of the abuse and enabling that all that caused, you'll have a lot of these parents enable their children to take drugs and their children's children to take these dope and alcohol and things. And they know underneath that it's all wrong. It's not right. And they think they're going to live forever, and then all of a sudden somebody's sick. Like critically, or could be, seriously suffering from an illness from possibly their abuses, chemical abuses. The mind-altering drugs that are available now, freely available now, are going to, and I predict this, cause more evil than good. People are losing their minds at an alarming rate, and the consequences of this is violence. Violence towards themselves and violence towards people around them. And now we have this idea that you can just run up and stab people and suffer the consequences later. Stop and think for a minute. What's it take? What is going on in somebody's mind if they just run up and stab somebody? Hatred. Tremendous hatred. And I've been in relationships where some of these women's children, grown young men, have hated me, absolutely hated me. And there's no way I'm going to put myself in a situation where a drug addict or something like that's going to go stupid. So you remove yourself, you go, no. And you realise that these people want to live that way. And they're prepared to go down into the darkness and suffer the consequences of that lifestyle, even if it leads to death, because the Bible says it does lead to death. So I'm going to say to you, the dark's getting darker at an accelerated rate, and the light's getting brighter. but not everybody. There are few, Jesus said, who find it.